Good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, July 20th, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. The ES is held at these highs for a while, hasn't really moved too much one way or the other over the last 5-6 days. It's mostly gone sideways, but now it has pulled back below the 8-period moving average, showing some signs of strength off the 2791s and pushing back up a little bit. This could be a short-term opportunity here for bulls to defend. We're already seeing some of that, and perhaps attempt to push it even higher. Any failure to hold 2791 starts to rotate prices back down toward recent support, back toward 2703.75. So right now 2791, very important. Bulls attempting to keep it bid for a continuation higher. Failure to hold that level, auction prices lower. Now if we take a look at the NQ, very similar type of price action here, mostly sideways over the last 5 to 6 days, pulling back. Every time it pulls back to or toward that 8-period average, it bounces back up. So again, we could be on the verge of another attempt to push higher through 74.40s and perhaps even higher. So continuation higher is likely here if prices can continue to stay above that 73.50. Failure to hold that level, which could certainly happen. Failure to hold above this previous month's high here could rotate prices right back toward recent support. That's going to be back towards 7K. So that's going to be the zone to watch right there as price continues to coil up very tightly over the last 5 sessions. Again, anytime you have a narrow range like that, there is the potential for some good expansion. So continue to watch the NQ. If you look at the Russell 2000 here, RTY, we talked about this one as well. Narrow 5-day range, and I mentioned before that we could be looking at expansion soon. Yesterday we got a stop run day to the upside. I mentioned to our traders yesterday that any pullback into 1697 could be an opportunity to buy for continuation higher. So if you use the previous low right here and project higher about 80 handles, this low is 1687. That'll give you about 1767. So basically, that's a 7. So we have a good shot to get above 1750 into 1760s. So again, using this 1697 right now as support, that could provide a very good continuation higher. Failure to hold this level will break the pattern and could rotate this thing back towards 1630. So right now, again, narrow range could lead to a nice bit of strength here out of the RTY. If we take a look at crude oil, you'll notice here crude oil has had quite a time here over the last couple of days, back and forth. We've had significant selling pressure. This failed new high led to another round of weakness. Right now, we're starting to see more signs of failed new highs here. If price can't hold the previous session's mid, this thing could turn into another meltdown where we go for that 64. So again, right now crude oil still attempting to bounce, but not really finding much love here above previous highs. That could lead to another round of weakness if price cannot hold the previous session's mid at 67.70. So that's going to be a key level to watch today. If we take a look at XBT, XBT right now had a solid pop over the last several days, and then right here we've been holding very narrow over the last 3 sessions. 72.50 very important. If this thing's going to continue higher, we may need to see a flush here. Failed new low may get this thing going a little bit more, and we could stretch it to about 8,500. Remember, we probably won't see much more strength beyond that zone as lower highs have come into play over the course of this contract, but 8,500 still doable if prices can remain above the 6,700, 7K zone. So again, any pullback could be a great buying opportunity on a near-term basis for Bitcoin. Lastly, looking at gold. Gold has been free falling for quite some time, but we have come into long-term support at 1,200. That's where we were looking for signs of major strength. We got close to it at 1210s, and then we started to show signs of rejection here 2 days running. So again, any bounce could be a short-term move back toward 1240. So that could be about a 20 handle move. And then from there, if that bounce materializes above 1240, the 1200 could, that 1200 bounce could lead to price all the way back to CVPOC. That's 1287, and a shot to see the top of the market structure at 1300 over the course of a couple of months. So again, we could see a pretty solid bounce here out of gold. You got to be careful with gold since it's been free falling lower, but right now this is the first major sign that we've seen of strength here in a while. And again, if they can continue to hold 12s, there's a good shot to go back toward 1240 and perhaps as high as 1287. So we'll continue to watch gold as well as we head into Friday's action. That is it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and happy Friday.